This week on Maker Update, gleaming the cube on a cushion of air, a fruit bowl that's just the right size, a 3D printed Japanese lantern, and how to copy any 3D part. Hello and welcome back to Maker Update, the show where we find the coolest projects that makers are making to hopefully inspire your next project. I'm Tyler Weingartner and I hope you're all doing great. We've got a fun show for you. Let's get going with the project of the week. As projects go, making a hoverboard is near unobtainium. It captured imaginations when it appeared on screen in Back to the Future 2, and since then, a few attempts have been made using specialized boards on specific surfaces, but never quite capturing the original spirit of the device. Colin Furze is no stranger to tackling impossible projects, and what he's put together might be the closest thing yet. It all started with a comment on his magnetic suspension bike, asking if it would be possible to apply the same engineering to skateboard trucks. And the bait was too good to resist. He begins with a sort of double-decker skateboard. The trucks and the wheels are attached to the bottom board as well as a set of magnets. Then there's a second board on top that slides on a pair of linear rods and is suspended on a cushion of magnetism. In his first attempts, it's off to a great start, and he's able to push and steer the board. And most importantly, the magnetic suspension gives him the feeling like he's riding on a cushion of air. But the sliding mechanism has too much friction to really sell the sensation of floating down the road. His next prototype had the top board attached to the bottom through this massive hinge. This was better at conveying the floating sensation, and it was easier to steer the board. But it had its own strange behaviors, especially when stepping off. His final form for the magnet board is fairly similar to the first one. There's two linear slides surrounding the rear magnet, but he was able to reduce the flexing and the binding, finally giving him the smooth, controllable ride that he's looking for. Colin's own brand of engineering may be out of reach for the most of us, but it's great to see him tackling bigger and weirder problems with every video. And the payoff with this one is just too much fun to resist. More projects. Simone has a problem with her fruit bowl. It's never quite the right size. Since fruit bowls also tend to be the centerpiece of your kitchen, you want it to look nice. But small bowls don't hold enough, and a large bowl just looks empty. A few years ago, she designed this fruit bowl that expands and contracts mechanically. And while it's a clever solve, it still had some problems. Namely that when expanded, the gaps are large enough to let your limes escape. Her new version of the design works the same way, but she's making the expanding pedals out of thin brass so they can overlap each other when the bowl is collapsed down, and don't form any large gaps when it's opened up. The mechanism is similar to iris doors, where there's an internal spiral track that pushes the leaves outward when it's rotated. She finishes the project off by adding the threaded handle from her Jimmy DiResta ice pick to the center. This lets her expand and contract the bowl even when it's full of fruit, and it can also be used to carry the bowl if she needs to. Over on Adafruit, the Ruiz brothers have a design for an all 3D printed LED lamp inspired by traditional Japanese shoji lamps. Shoji lamps use paper to diffuse the light, and it's all held together with a wooden frame. This project does away with the paper, replacing it instead with 3D printed panels made on a multi-material printer, so you can express whatever design you like. The frame is also 3D printed and assembles without any tools thanks to these sliding dovetail joints. A Circuit Playground Express is mounted in the base of the lamp, which not only allows control over the LED color and brightness, but also provides the LEDs itself. The Circuit Playground is also controlled by a wireless remote, so you can turn the lamp off and on and set the color easily. It's a fantastic looking design, and the fact that it's entirely 3D printed should make it easy to build on your own. Now for some tips and tools. Laura Kampf is building out a bunch of furniture for a tiny home project, and with it she has some incredible tips for designing that furniture. Her issue is that she never has a good sense for the right scale for furniture pieces when she's working. so she often needs to make adjustments later. But by laying out where the furniture pieces need to go in blue painter's tape, she's easily able to visualize how the space will work before a single piece is assembled. It's a fantastic piece of advice. Designing at a different scale, Zack Freedman of Voidstar Labs has a brand new video where he shares his tips and techniques for duplicating any manufactured part so you can 3D print your own. To duplicate these hard drive sleds, he's first using his phone to create flat reference images of every side of the object, with the ruler in the frame as a size reference. After adding a bunch of dimensions to the sketched part, he then prints out a very thin test print in clear PLA so he can see how closely it matches the genuine article. He also shares some advice for when to deviate from the manufactured part, such as when the 3D printed filament would fail when duplicating an injection molded part. From Project Farm, we have a comparison of several different thermal cameras to help you get the most bang for your buck. These can be fairly expensive tools, and like always, he's testing out a broad price range to see what advantages a $400 model has over the one that'll set you back closer to $100. He's primarily looking for temperature accuracy versus price, but other features like resolution and temperature factor in as well. The big surprise here is that the most expensive models were some of the least accurate. Check out this video. This is a tool you need to add to your arsenal. And from the Crafsman Steadycraft, in his latest video shares his thoughts on where we're currently at with regards to generative AI technology. The crux of his thought is that the labor that goes into creating something, the work, the challenges, the struggle, makes the creation more valuable to ourselves. When you ask ChatGPT or Stable Diffusion to create something, the creation has less meaning to us because it just came to us so easily. Regardless of how you feel about the use of generative AI tools, there's a lot of great thoughts in this video. Check it out. For this week's DigiKey Spotlight, Zack the Byte-Sized engineer has another video talking about how to use an oscilloscope. This is a follow-up video to his very basic starting guide to using a scope, and this one gets into some more advanced but necessary skills. When should you use slope versus edge triggering? Or how to best use triggers to visualize your signal? What is a logic analyzer and how do you use one? If you're eager to level up your electronics troubleshooting skills, give this video a watch. Alright, and that is going to do it for this week's show. A reminder, as always, that you can get more info about every single one of these projects by following the links down in the description. While you're there, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, and hit subscribe so you won't miss the next one. Huge thanks as always to DigiKey for making this show possible and to you for watching. Take care. We'll see you soon.